Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to Thai Talk with Dan. We've got a crazy story for you today about a subscriber who heads over to Koh Samui on his sex tourist adventures. And also, for anyone that's interested, the cold season is totally over and done with now, guys, as it is absolutely boiling hot here in Thailand. I've been awake since 5 o'clock because the temple has decided for the last 4 days to blast out music as loud as it can, and the speakers are directly facing towards where I live. So I'm absolutely shattered. So guys, enough about me. Without further ado, let's get into today's story. Hiya Dan, I'm getting busier at work, so here is another instalment, and probably the last story about my recent naughty adventures in the land of smiles. A funny occurrence and sprinkles of advice on what has been my tried and true approach to our beloved Thai ladies of the night. I was in Phuket and Koh Samui for 2 weeks last November on a deserved solo vacation after 3 years of drowning in work and the damn pandemic, which only added more years to a miserable sex drought. Now you should have seen this elated butterfly landing in Phuket, prancing and fist pumping all the way from customs to the bus stop to Patong Beach to the tunes of Here Comes a Hot Stepper by Inni Kamosi on Spotify. I was hours away from finally getting some punani and was already sore. Only that this time my arm was sore for another reason other than having to pleasure myself as the missus, aka the roommate, closed that department in what felt like centuries ago. I arrived in a land of smiles, more like the land of moans and groans, planning to nail as many female natives and stuff as many enchiladas as possible. I carefully budgeted for it and also made a conscious decision to rest, hit the gym often and throw in a few tours in between lays. Luckily, I don't drink. I can't drink actually, and follow a strict meal plan. I enjoy having a structured day even on holidays. Most importantly, I feel you must make it a point of keeping your wits about you in a place brimming with loose women, booze, plus pot now in the mix. Never forget you're operating on someone else's turf. I lived in Japan for over 20 years, and I'm often reminded that I'm a foreigner here and that I will rarely have the last laugh if trouble arises. Now, nothing disgusts me more than gaijin. Gaijin equals falang, especially the English-speaking kind from Western countries landing in Japan, thinking and treating people like they are effing own the place. Despite the heat and really effed up Thai street infrastructure, I also promised myself I'd put in my 10,000 daily steps, taking advantage of that to survey the dens of pleasure and perdition a few blocks away from my resort. Now that allowed me to collect line IDs from prospects, most of which I engaged at a later time. Again, my approach was calculated and deliberate. No need to go headfirst with the first bird I encountered. I would have liked to engage a companion for 1 or 2 days, but couldn't find anyone worth it. I did my best to keep it simple and practical out of safety and caution, as I have a weakness for naughty women for hire and have been known to fall head over heels for pretty girls quite fast in previous lives. Never forget you're most vulnerable when you travel, folks. After an intense Muay Thai afternoon lesson, I went on my daily walk trying to locate a Big C mini-mart along a dusty street behind Samui Central Mall and parallel to Chawang Beach Road. I baptised that street Soy Promiscuity, as I discovered a string of massage parlours I didn't know about, and it was right there where I would eventually borrow a ladyboy's mouth a couple of times and would encounter an odd pair. I named the dynamic duo. I left enough fluids along that street to open an account in a sperm bank. It was sunny and hot as hell, and I was starting to feel the effects of the Muay Thai lesson in my body. I walked by one of many massage parlours at around 2 one afternoon and see an old lady in traditional Thai clothes and a hot looking girl in a very short, tight, fluorescent green dress. They're both sitting outside the shop. Pretty odd pair, I thought. I had seen massage joints in Phuket with either all the women in traditional Thai clothes or working girl attires, but not a combination of both. Plus, there were only the two of them in the shop. Again, weird, I thought. On the way back from Big C, I figure it isn't a bad idea to seek refuge from the heat and get a therapeutic massage to alleviate my aching muscles. I could check out that hottie as well. I asked the young morsel, let's call her Tessa, to see the menu, but she seems a bit spaced out, almost uninterested. It must have been the heat, but unlike her sisters down the street, she doesn't make any effort to offer a special massage. No idea about shop dynamics or their promotional strategy. My only experience with a girl out of a massage parlour was in Patong Beach the week prior, but I approached her in the street, collected her line ID and had her come directly to my hotel instead some hours later. I had never set foot in a place like that. Club freelancers and soapy massage places did the trick for me in the past. I didn't ask Tessa for her line ID at first, as I assumed she was a retired working girl and owned the shop with Granny as her minion, maybe. On the other hand, I loved the fact that the dynamic duo weren't pushy. You know how annoying it is when you're talking on Thailand's state-of-the-art sidewalks and some hag grabs your hand and tries to drag you into their massage shop. I decided to go for a Thai body massage for 300 baht, stupidly assuming the offer for added services may come at some point later. Both ladies escort me in the shop, turn on the AC and lock the main door. The hottie headed upstairs and the old timer asked me to undress and climb on an elevated bed on the ground floor. Granny got ready and proceeded to start massaging my feet, closing the curtains little by little and dimming the light a tad more and more every some minutes as she worked her way up my legs, also building some kind of momentum. I kept thinking the hot one would join or take over at some point. I was really hoping Grandma would pass the baton to Tessa eventually, sort of speak. In my mind, I reckoned Granny was buttering me up for much pleasurable things to come, so I kept waiting, even dozing off for a few minutes. Granny was now on top of the bed. I hoped she wouldn't get frisky with me, as I was saving my energy for Tessa, my delicious mamacita. I'm already too much for one girl, but not enough for two, you know.
Oh my god! Wow!
Curtains closed full circle. Granny worked her way up and down my body, and it was around 30 plus minutes into the massage when I started to think Tessa would not take over. I then asked Granny if Tessa owned the shop and what she was up to. She said no, she only boom boom, no massage. Then her eyes lit up and asked me, "You want boom boom?" My python awoke upon hearing that, but I scratched my chin and started at the ceiling fan for a few seconds, pretending that I was giving it some thought.
Okay.
I didn't want to come across as too eager. I nodded. Yes. And Granny got off that massage table faster than a 10-year-old getting out of bed on Christmas morning. Gran was so agile, she should be in the Thai Olympics gymnastics team. She yelled out something in Thai and rushed to get Tessa to let her know about my request. Now the old maid asked me to pay her and that it would be 2,000 baht for the other special massage. I had to use my phone's flashlight to look into my wallet and counted 300 baht with a 100 baht note also sticking out. Granny noticed and said, "Give me 400 please." So I did to be nice and to help her out. I also readied the 2,000 for Tessa, who I heard coming down the stairs. Picture this. I'm sore and struggling to get up and get off the massage bed. I can't see F all. I'm in my unmentionables. My hands are oily, but I'm trying to hold on and find my footing and walk as my feet were also oily. As we say back home, it felt like a drunk parrot walking on linoleum. I couldn't see a thing as it was dark, but somehow I negotiated my way to the end of the shop. The following image will live in my memory until the day I meet my maker. On the back of the dark shop, a flickering light bulb faintly illuminates a set of stairs leading to the second floor. At the bottom of the stairs, that hot, grinning goddess is leaning against the wall, leg bent, holding out her hand to show me the way. As Oscar Wilde, the Irish poet, wrote, "The best way to deal with temptation is to yield to it." Tessa took my hand and up that stairway to heaven we went. Tessa had me at, "Where you from?" I bit my lower lip, feasting my eyes on her great rack and all-natural guitar-shaped figure. I engaged in some small talk as I wouldn't jump in bed with a total stranger. Tessa said she was 28, that she used to work in Bangkok, and that she moved to Koh Samui recently because it's beautiful there and less of a crazy place, in pretty decent English. 2 red flags right there. She's been around Falang a long time and has probably had more bones in her than an abandoned cemetery, I thought. She actually looked mid-30s and a tad run down, but still in awesome shape, so I switch back to Latin lover mode and get on with it. I'm a gentleman, so I won't go into details of what happened next, but suffice it to say that the moment her lips crowned little Harry, I looked up to the sky and thought, there is a God, even in this run-down, dingy shop on some dusty back street in Thailand. I visited Tessa later in the week, eager to glaze her donut a second time. Meemaw waved hi, so Tessa asked me if I wanted a therapeutic massage from her for starters. I politely refused, but loved the customer service, teamwork and active collaboration between them. Tessa was even better this time and almost forgot to charge me for her services. Friends, my recommended approach is to remain calm and calculating and keep your wits about you at all times if you're in Thailand, to have fun and deliver some beef injections. I'm showing my age here, but as the old rap song by Naughty by Nature says, no room for relationships, just room to hit it, especially in entertainment areas. If you're in Thailand long term looking for love, join a club, take up a hobby, or do volunteer work in close proximity to locals and as far away from red light districts as possible. For God's sake, join a church choir so you don't burn in hell like me. Thank you again, Dan. Keep up the great work and all the best from Tokyo. Harry. P.S. Best TikTok ever. Check out that woman's face. And he leaves me a link below. Right guys, let us know what you think about Harry's escapades in Koh Samui. And if you've got your own Thailand story that you wish to share with everybody on the channel, then as always guys, send an email into thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. This has been Thai Talk with Dan. Until the next time, ciao for now.